Hello, everyone, and welcome to EREUS GG. We're here tonight to watch a game between EREUS and 0907, two really good teams in the FACEIT League. I'm with Mace right over there. Hey, Mace, how are you?
Not bad. How about you, my dear friend?
I'm fine. It's actually my first English spoken cast ever. So don't be, thank you. Don't be shocked if sometimes I'm in lots of words or anything. I'll try to be as good as I can, but hey, first time.
Hey, I mean, there's always a first time for everything, and I don't believe this is the first time these two teams are playing. But here on screen, we are now seeing the starting cast for EREUS. Gitza, Sleek, Lars, Pixel, and Volts A. Backups being Jesper and Pengu. We saw just about all these players play on Tuesday. If you guys saw our game on Tuesday, which Eris was able to bring out the lead or bring out the victory in a very, very close 5 match series.
And here is the lineup for 0907 with Kubo Smooth, Conde, Magin, Doki, and Jonovic. Two European teams with players from many different countries, actually.
I mean, you can never have a team without having very many different players in it. And especially in esports specifically, you can have players from just about any country as long as they work together like bread and butter. Hey, you can make a team out of it. Let's be honest here, Opera.
Sure, but I'm mostly present on the French scene, so it's not that often that I see mixed countries team, and yeah, it's good. And we will be starting on Lijiang Tower for our first map tonight. So it's
Ah,
best of five, first to three, and we start with the control map, Lijiang Tower.
very interesting as the last series we ended off on said map. So it's going to be interesting how Eris plays this one out after I think they won last time. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, but it's still against a completely brand new team. It's going to be very interesting how they play against them. Obviously, no matter who wins or loses its first map, it's more of like a feel out match, feeling out your opponent, trying to see what you can get away with, what you can't get away with here. And both teams are going to have a very, very fun time trying to figure each other out.
It's still very early in the league, so it's actually the first match for 0907. And EREUS only played one before that, so it's very early in the league, and the teams are still figuring out each other, the matchups and the meta. So we'll
Yeah,
see what they have in store for us tonight, and we're going live, and we will start with the night market.
interesting bans coming out in the very first map. Already Hazard being banned and Kiriko being banned on very first map. Both teams looking like a very brawly team. 0907 running more of that very meta comp with the Symmetra Torbjorn. A very strong comp against Hazard. On the other hand, Ares running the Junker Queen Lucio more of like a rush brawl comp.
And I'm surprised with the Kiriko ban that they don't play Nana. They do play a Junker Queen though. And
Indeed,
we
they do.
started the TP goes on the point for 0907. They take the first position, but Lars dispatches the turret right away.
The turret has already been disassembled, and we are off to the races in the very first map. 3 seconds remaining on the control point to open, and Sleek is already the first one to drop to the Fist of Fury, but not far behind him is Turbo Smooth, getting Gracie to the melon, saying, hey, just because you're short doesn't mean I can't still hit you. And already Ares taking control of the point. Very, very early take, but Lore's getting booped off the map. Shockingly,
That,
late in the fight, is going to get eliminated by the torpedoes.
they took the first cap, but they lost the fight. Texel and Jesper just go back to spawn to regroup with their team. And right now, 907 in control of the point, and they're already getting close in control major.
Well,
It will
as you
keep the
say that,
position outside, and now 19. Interesting turret placements from Turbo Smooth
I will say
in the fight.
I do quite enjoy those turret placements, which means they have to overcommit to destroy the turrets, but already EREUS getting absolutely run over by 0907. Not even barely getting out of their spawn before their entire team just gets ran down.
Indeed, 907 maybe they just took their time on the first fight. They wanted to be sure to get the victory out of it, even though it meant let the other team get some control points out of it.
I mean, sometimes that's what you need as the orbital ray drops from the sky, raining havoc on the battlefield, killing just every single player on the team. But Stick already dropping to the Lucio's fist. Turbo Smooth going to be right behind him, and the annihilation, raining fire from... I can't remember the character's name off the top of my head.
Ramatra,
But-
it's
Ramatra, that indeed is what it is. I apologize for having a very small error there, but either way, 0907 still having a very, very strong effort here. Holding this point with everything they have. EREUS needs to get a touch here, has 3% remaining. They do get the touch. Two people already on point. Slick popping the overclock. Already gets the first kill, looking for the second. He's going to get beat by Docking. And
once again on 907, they're playing really slow. They know they have 99% and they just need to win this fight. They're trying to draw as many ults from EREUS as they can, and now they invest. They go with the wall, they go with the multi-core from Turbo Smooth, and they don't let EREUS getting on the point again. The orbital from Texel just fired, and the kill feed is all red, all for 0907, and I think they're going to make it. Jasper's falling, and that's it. The first one goes to 0907.
we'll see. That was a very dominant performance by 0907. That basically that entire round after the first fight, it almost seemed like they took it slow, trying to feel it out only in the first fight, seeing what they could get away with right off rip. And as soon as they figured out what was going on, they just took every single advantage they possibly could. And there was just no answer from EREUS.
Yeah, they didn't find the way, and now they're going to pretty much match the comp, uh, at least the tank and supports. And we'll see. Jasper stays on the Genji. Slick goes for the Torbjorn as well. And so we're going to have just this slight difference with the Symmetra from Conde.
Indeed, we will. And already the fight starts. Both turrets dropping from both Torbjorn, but not very long uptime as both of them immediately get destroyed. We're going to be seeing a little bit of healing come out here. Not really much happening on the battlefield until Majin pulls out the fist, ready to fight anyone who comes into his path, trying to shut down any advancement from EREUS. Lars needs to take at least a little bit of ground here to help his team secure this point. Both teams getting very low on HP tank-wise.
Imagine he's really close to falling. No, it's okay. He got the mini as well to help him up. And Turbo Smooth just got rid of Jasper. The number advantage now from 0907. Once again, they played this fight really slow, really steady, and they're slowly taking the advantage now. But Pingu just equalized the field with the Dragon from the Jasper and Jonowich. And now 0907, they got to get it away or die. And that's just what it is.
They do indeed all fall down to the hands of Ares. Very smart decision by them to not stagger, though, as sometimes doing that little bit of late dying is going to result in a slight stagger, or if not a stagger, it might end up in a team fight loss. Either way, Orbital Ray drops from both squads. Beat comes out from both squads. The Torbjorn ult comes out from both squads. And it's just absolute chaos on the point. Annihilation comes out very last second by Lars, but he's extremely low HP. He needs to get his HP up to be able to do much of anything here. Fleet running right at Turbo Smooth with the ratchet gun in hand,
It's
saying,
done all the
I
frags.
have a
All
bullet
the
or
frags
two
are
for you.
going- All the frags are going for EREUS this time. Once again, they used everything they got. They just have a blade left. On 907 has the shield right now used by Conde to allow on 907 to close the distance, and they take possession of the point without a fight.
Honestly, smart fight by Ares there, saying, hey, we have very little ult to contest this. We just need to back up here, farm up some ult a little bit. But the blade comes out last second, gets absolutely a no value, as immediately shut down. Lars swinging left and right, only to get one kill, and Ares is dropping like flies here.
Yeah, they took the retake option with the blade. They thought they could make it, but they didn't. And so 0907 keeps control of the point, and they're slowly but steadily getting more percentage on it. Now, all teams are really vanilla, no ults for this fight, and we'll see how it's going. EREUS is already applying a lot of pressure on the point. The fist from Loud Nemesis Storm has lots of damage, and they took control of the point once again. The orbital from Doki, but the beats from both teams once again bolted towards the Semels. And the first fight, let's see how it goes.
Absolute chaos coming out on the battlefield, but 0907 currently having the man advantage. Lars dropping very late in the fight, and it looks like 0907 will take this team fight, will retake the point. I will say, Ares taking the point for a very small amount of time there is actually quite good for them, as they did delay at least, I would say, 5 to 10% for 0907, giving them a little bit of breather room.
Sure, but they have to win the next fight, though. And the annihilation from Magin grid them along with the wall, protecting him from any damage from the EREUS team. And already Lars is down. Now they're chasing them back to the spawn once again.
I mean, 0907,
they have to touch EREUS, have to touch the point. The Venture maybe can do something. No, Jasper is dispatched before he can do anything. Last switch to the ball, so he could touch and trigger this overtime, but it's really difficult from EREUS. They're going in one by one.
sometimes you must go in one by one to get at least the touch onto the point, as Dockley dropping early in the fight, but it's not really going to be much of any help, as the rest of Ares dropping as well. It's going to be down to Jesper to delay the point as long as possible, but sadly C9s with the recall. 0907 takes first map.
In a very dominating fashion, I must say. They played really well on the first point, and on the second one, they took the time. But in the end, they managed to have the upper hand on every fight that matters. The one not to lose the point, the one to win the overtime, and the one to win the map.
Indeed, they did take that first map. Now it's down to Ares to secure the secondary map, so 0907 does not go to match point. But now that both teams have felt each other out, it's going to be very interesting to see what the next map pick is. Now the control is completely out of the picture. Hazard cannot be banned by 0907 and Kiriko cannot be banned by Ares.
They have to switch the ban. Let's see what they pick. Depends on the map, I guess. We do not know the map. Will be a surprise for us. Surprise pick. So we'll
Personally,
see.
I
The only thing we know it's that it's next escort map. I guess. Not sure.
I'm honestly not sure what the map picks are either, but honestly, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a payload map next.
Okay, we'll see.
Hoping
We'll
that
see.
it's honestly, I'm kind of hoping it's either King's Row or call me crazy, but um, Orissa's map. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Numbani.
Yes, thank you. God, you are such a blessing in disguise, Opera. I am just not remembering stuff today. Apparently, I'm just having a case of the brain fry.
Okay. I'll be your Wikipedia today.
I mean, having a co-caster like you is always a caster's dream. Keeping them in check at all times and just being the blessing that most casters need in times of need. And Ares here is going to need a blessing of a secondary map. Being down 0-1, not wanting to let 0907 bring this to match point just after the second map.
Sure, it's really important for them to win the next map. They do not want to get 0-2 in first to three because they will have to reverse sweep, and that's never a situation you want to put yourself in. Especially, we just saw that 0907 is really solid, really organized team, and to be able to win 3 maps in a row against them is going to be really difficult. So I hope EREUS has some strat of their own and something to show us on the second map.
I mean, you always want the best you can get, and surprisingly enough, we're going to Suravasa for the secondary map. Going more towards the flashpoint side of things now.
And I think I have the bans as well. 907 banned Juno, and EREUS banned Lucio.
Oh dear. This, this is going to be a very slow map then, as there is absolutely no speed supports in the roster or allowed right now. With Lucio and Juno both being banned, the only speed both of these teams are going to have is the spawn speed.
The spawn, and we might see a Symmetra once more from 0907. It worked well on the first map, and it gives a nice boost with the teleporter.
Yes, you do have a point there. Most teams, I do personally think, normally take that teleporter right out of the spawn. The question is, do they keep the Symmetra though?
Sure, sure. We often see a switch for a Genji or a Tracer. And Symmetra mostly doesn't leave the spawn. It's a spawn hero.
Well, in the current meta, the meta would say differently as we are in an engineer meta. Very rare that you see this as Torbjorn and Symmetra together being meta is very, very anti-hazard, but also not a comp you see every day.
Sure, and it opens a lot of counter picks as well. Any aerial pick like Eco or Farah is really strong against the top sim for obvious reasons. And so you have to. It's like you said, it's a anti-hazard comp, anti-meta comp. So we see the meta evolving with every new hero in the game, and Hazard had his time because it was brand new to the game, so kind of strong. People didn't really know how to play against, and now they do.
Indeed, they do. And we are getting a little bit of I think we're having slight tech issues on the FACEIT side of things. So we're going to be taking a very small break. Won't be long until we're back. So get your drinks, get your food if you have not eaten yet. Always eat. And we will be right back in about, I would say, 5 minutes.
See you soon. And we're back for the second map. That will be Suravasa. And we are going to jump right in the game. On the blue side, 0907, they lead 1-0. On the red side, EREUS, they still have to find their first map win in this match. And we're back. And the bans, I got the bans wrong. Lucio is indeed banned. Well, no. the bands are wrong because I see the comps and they are Lucio in both. So we'll
Maybe
see.
maybe just a slight bit of miscommunication here between the bands, but oh, there we go. Now it's updated. The Junker Queen and the Juno being banned this map, not the
So,
Lucio, as I
so
just remembered.
once again, 0907 banning the tank and EREUS banning the support.
Indeed, they are, and already Ares looking like a much stronger team here, taking the fight. Not only taking the fight, but taking the point before 0907 was even able to touch the area around the point. Very, very, very strong approach by Ares. And Sleek holding this 100% charge, looking for any squishy he could possibly shoot at to lower their HP in a very rapid succession. Lars being on the hazard for this map as he is no longer banned. Both teams
Yeah.
looking to take the fight.
You can see EREUS much more comfortable with playing with the Hazard as a dead tank. And the first fight was all in their favor. And now the TP tried to take the top side, but Pingu finds Conde really, really early in the fight. What are 0907 going to do? They're going to die actually. They find the kill on Jesper, but that will be all. They are fleeing the scene, trying to retreat to the spawn, but nice roll by Lars finding Turbo Smith and Jonovich as well. The
Lars
first point is
already
already for EREUS.
Lars already looking like such a much more efficient tank now that he's on one of his more comfortable picks. Going to that hazard, as we saw last series, that's mostly what they played between the hazard and the wrecking ball. But now that he is on one of his more comfortable picks, they should be looking a lot better. Tengu looking to possibly engage with his team. Baptiste Window coming out very early in the fight, trying to fend off anyone who tries to jump onto them. Majin surprisingly making the swap off the Ramatra now onto the hazard as well. Overclock comes out during the beginning of this next fight and is able to get Majin out of order.
With the tank out of the picture, it will be easier for EREUS to contest. But Lars is really low. The beat is invested by Jonovich. 0907, they don't want to give the first control to EREUS on the second point.
Indeed, they do not. And now it is up to Jesper to go absolutely bananas with the blade, getting the 2K, looking for the third. Is not going to be quite able to get it unless he's able to. There is the triple coming out, getting Conde with the final kill. Possibly looking for the quadra, but he's going to have to back up here. Getting very, very low on HP and his support also flying. Now, Majin versus Lars here on the point. Lars is going to skedaddle back with his team. Ares already having about 40%-ish control, handing it over to 0907.
0907 made the swap. We are now playing mirrors on the meta as that jump. Imagine Fine takes all first pick in the fight. It's going for the next support, but Pingu will be able to escape. But meanwhile, Conde won the surgeon duel. And now 907 equalized in the cap meter.
Lars dropping late in that fight, being the last one to drop for his team, saying, hey, if I'm going down, or if my ship's going down, I will be the last one protecting it. And now they need to take a fight early here, or as early as possible, as they have about one team fight left on this secondary point. They are already going to be basically full capturing it here with just a tick left. And Majin drops first, Turbo dropping right behind him. Ares making a very strong push with the Kitsune. Sleek popping Overclock later in the fight. Honestly, really was not needed, but it still won them the fight. Ares now has point control.
We're in the last fight territory right now. 907 has to win the next fight if they want to equalize in this Saravasa map. And they're going for it. Imagine jumps right in. And the Kitsune rush from Doki. Next we might see the Blade, but Magin won the Hazard duel. Donovich dispatched Jesper, and right now the numbers favor 0907. And that's 1-1.
0907 indeed able to secure this secondary point, bringing it to a 1-to-1 fashion for this map. Lars needing to back up here or just jump right on in. Put me in my place, Lars, as you've been doing the entire time I've been casting for you guys. And Lars getting pinged heavily by 0907. Blade comes out early in the fight, baiting out the beat, but both squads dropping their next album as not really much happening. Was having, or not Lars, Turbo Smooth having the Blade pull out very last second. Tengu dropping, Turbo Smooth dropping one with the Blade, and Ares just falling apart late in the fight. Blake able to secure a kill before having himself killed.
Once again with the 0907 playing it slow, not playing the objective but playing the team. And once they win the fight, they cap the objective. So it's a little bit slower, but a little bit safer and much strategic way of playing the game. Like both Azad going at it, Turbo Smooth get the best, gets lost, and Jesper falls right behind him. So EREUS going back to the spawn once again. And 0907 making sure they stay that way.
It's a very interesting play from both hazards there. Both almost only solo downpouring each other, making sure whomever survives is not moving for a very long time. But here in this next fight, Kitsune already getting ripped. Both Kitsunes ripping out, actually. And it's just going to be absolute hazard onto the battlefield here, as Overclock also invested for Ares. Holy cannoli. What a absolute masterclass of a fight. Amazing dropping first. And Ares is looking for any picks they can get late in the fight. Able to secure both DPS, but both supports able to get out all very late.
907 losing this fight, but they got the holy 99% of control. They just need one fight. One small mistake from EREUS, and the third point is theirs. And they're looking for it. We see Imagine is harassing the back lane and then just going back with supports. They're trying to find the opening in the defense of EREUS.
I mean, you always have to break through the defense to get into the offensive side. Wall already comes out from Lars, and he's now going to be getting cut off. An absolutely humongous wall. Turbo dropping the blade. Both Lucios dropping the beat. And it's going to be 0907 possibly securing this point. Last second touch does come out from Ares, but it's really not going to do much of anything, as Jesper Swag dropping here first in this fight. Another Kitsune rush getting invested by Ares. Lars gets overclocked in the head. Turbo Smooth gets the double kill, possibly looking for a triple kill, but isn't going to get much other than the double.
On 907, they managed to draw everything from EREUS on this fight, and they still retained two ults of their own with the Core and the Kitsune and Doki and Majin. They invested three, but they got the point and then only 2-1. And they're already in place to defend this fourth point of Saravasa. We're going with the overclock, trying to find an angle and someone with really good discipline from 0907, going back, waiting for this overclock to expire. The blade now from Jesper, the good relay of GPS ult, but is obliterated by the supports of 0907.
Sadly, Jesper not able to get any kills with the blade, but Lars saying, hey, I'm just as good of a DPS as my DPS are, able to not only secure but hold the point, now hitting the 50% margin on this point. They're going to have about, I would say, 1 to 2 fights here before the point gets full captured. 0907 needing to take either a very late fight here to get a last second touch or a very early fight to possibly stop them from getting to a last fight. Kitsune Rush invested here from Teach Soul, but Majin just having to run away. It's not going to be
Huge,
very much value. As Slick getting the
huge.
double kill with the railgun.
That's a huge kill on Majin, preventing any contest from 0907 to be any kind of efficient, actually. And so that's 2-all. We're going for the last point of Suravasa, and it will be the temple or the runes. Is it the runes? I don't remember.
It's one of the two, Opera. Either way, it's definitely our last point. Both teams able to secure the 2 points before. Now it's going to be down to who wins this point. Whoever wins this point is going to win the entire map. Sleek already dropping the headshot on Turbo Smooth. It's a very interesting fight. Already Ares taking a load of room and just pushing 0907 back and back and back.
Definitely, EREUS takes the good fights, the good end of the stick on this fight with a nice off angle found by Slick, which gave us this headshot on Turbo Smooth, and then the pick on Majin. Nice Conde with the overclock, and he finds Slick right away. Maybe another pick. Damage done. Jesper falls. And the numbers game is for 0907 right now. Lars is pinned in the corner. Texel with him, and they fall. The last contest from Pingu, trying to get 1 or 2% more, but that's it. And we are in the last fight territory, actually. 0907, if they want to win this map, they need to win every single team.
Indeed, they do. The question is, will they be able to win these team fights? Ares able to get a lot of room to breathe here, being able to take 2 or 3 fights before the map ends, but it's only going to matter if the downpour doesn't get overly amounts of advantage. Both teams dropping the beat, actually just dropping every single ult in their arsenal. Absolute havoc rained down on the battlefield. Ares looks like they're going to be coming out on top, but a last second ditch effort from 0907 is not going to be enough, as Ares takes the point back, and now 90% and taking the 97%. They need to get a last second touch, but Ares taking the second map.
907 just too short. Majin getting dropped early in the fight was the loss for this final point of Suravasa. And we will see play of the game just to swag with a nice blade. Hitting 1, 2, and then the third kill as he chases Conde down. in the old ways. We won't see it on the play of the game. We know it happened. We saw it live. 1-all. Nice. We got ourselves a series.
Indeed, we do, Opera. And the question is, will we have a case of last series where it goes to a full five, or will one of these two teams figure out what that weak point is and be able to take it all in two back-to-back maps?
Well, we'll see. Also, we depends on the bans on the map. Um, we saw a map that was really favorable to Hazard comps, and players has better Hazard. That's what we just saw. Imagine not that comfortable, us much more able to find the first kills and to just last longer to have the better sustain, I guess, against his counterpart.
Honestly, you are not wrong. Ares taking that second map, and I will say they looked a lot better than on that first map, where they almost were getting basically ran over by 0907. They seem to have figured out what was going wrong there with that little break we had, and just honestly, they're looking a lot more like a well-oiled machine. Not quite where they want to be normally are, but they're looking different from what they did the first map. And we do have some information. The reason why the bans were mixed up is because in the rules, you are not allowed to have two of the same role being banned in the same map.
They had to
So,
switch. All right.
yes, they indeed had to swap one of the two teams. But here in this third map, we're going to Esperanza.
Esperança, Portugal, country of the sun and the sea. Very nice map with very beautiful buildings. In the red, 0907. In the blue, EREUS, and now Lucio and Moga are banned once again. EREUS banning the support and 0907 banning the tank. And we see Magin fairing the Ramatra once again, while Lars is going for the hazard pick. Pingu swaps his ban Lucio for Juno, but we're going for the anti-hazard comp with the Kubusmus on the top, Jonovic on the brigades. Nice fight coming.
I will say, as a Brigitte main, I am very, very happy to see Jonowich on the Brigitte. But honestly, it really doesn't matter what I want, as both of these teams want to secure this map and put them on match point. Already a very, very strong push from 0907, basically taking complete control of the bot right off rip.
Doki healing his team from behind. Beware of the off angle. It's Jesper is trying to find the support from the top. But right now, he doesn't have the best angle. Jonovic has tough time, but imagine at last cornered. Can he do it? No, Lars with the sustain. And the Hazard gets defensive stands up and leaves to fight another team fight.
Team fight after team fight here, as this first team fight has not even ended yet. Not a single person from either team falling. As I say that, I do hit Sleek with the caster's curse. Dropping Sleek, Lars dropping Hyundai, and Jesper's falls right behind.
Imagine getting dispatched by Lars. We see another tank advantage is from EREUS and on 907 they will have to retreat for the time being and let EREUS start their push.
finally, the team fight ends almost 2 minutes into this third map. That was a very, very long team fight. Both teams having a lot of ult up and and having a bit of team lag, having some tech issues here.
At the same, but the orbital from Pingu and the rally from John, which tried to counter that, and the kills are for 0907. The kill feed is all red, and we see Lars retreating. His Kiriko finds a way to survive with that Kitsune step. And 0907 just got the lead again.
0907 taking the lead right after Ares had it. Now Ares needs to win this fight with the downpour coming out, pouring down rain on Turbo Smith. Overclock comes out from Conde, but Teak Soul says, hey, just because I'm a support doesn't mean I can't do just as well as my DPS, securing the double kill. Looking possibly for a triple kill, but the rest of his team now putting in the work, able to secure the triple kill with the Fist of Fury on the Kitsune. And 0907 falling just as they secure the lead there.
This fight was really important for EREUS because they prevented 0907 from getting the forward spawn, which is a real big advantage. And now it's 0907 time. They have to do the same. They have to win this team fight to prevent much of an advantage for EREUS. But Jesper doesn't think so. He uses the blade at Jonowitz. The kills there from EREUS, but really low loss. Last falls, Pingu is really low as well. But they still have the control. They still have the TS1 pushing the barricade.
EREUS doing a very good job of stabilizing even without their tank up. Is able to basically win the fight and take the bot ever so slightly farther. Now only being just under 2 meters off of having the lead. Both teams having quite a lot of ult charge, having two ults up for both teams, or nearly two ults up. Ares already dropping the orbital array, and good gracious, Majin had absolutely no chance there. Jesper getting the kill on Jonowitz, and 0907 had absolutely no chance in that fight.
Indeed, EREUS with that orbital did just run over the poor Majin. He had no chance of surviving this cold. And right now, EREUS taking the lead. They got the forward spawn and the top position as well. They have the higher ground. And they will use what Evans that is. The orbital tried to turn this fight around. Nice retreat from EREUS, capitalizing on the spawn advantage. They just need to prevent 0907 from disabling this forward spawn.
The rally coming out very late in the fight. Majin getting the double kill, possibly getting a triple kill. Bajanovic is out for blood with the rally up. Rally does die out, but still an absolutely humongous fight win for 0907. Not only disabling Ares forward spawn, but securing the forward spawn for themselves with only having to invest the rally.
Indeed, and now TS1 is pushing again. They're going to try to take the lead on this fight with the Molten Core from Chubusmus, forcing the retreat from EREUS. They cannot contest, and 0907 takes the lead again.
Lead has been taken. Now the problem is continuing to keep the lead in your favor, as The peel from Brig really was not that helpful, not having the Inspire up. And oh my good gracious, this is a hazard dream. Having three people trapped in a small room. Kixel getting the double kill. Tengu getting the basically getting his triple kill, but it's just absolute disaster for 0907 getting stuck in a small room with a Brigitte, or not with a Brigitte, with a Kiriko and a Hazard.
Indeed, and they lost this fight, but they still have the lead for now. That's what they're going to defend right now. They need to prevent EREUS from taking the lead 2 minutes before the end of the map. Be disaster for them. Every ultimate online is invested in this fight. Imagine with the annihilation finding the double kill. The orbital from Figu doesn't have that much loss. It's going to fall as well. Followed by Texel, Jesper Van Megin, but it's too little too late for the Genji, or is it? It is. The turret from Turbus must actually find the last kill. And 0907, they managed to keep the lead and to push the TS1 again.
I guarantee you Jesper is yelling, dang you turrets, if it wasn't for your meddling parts, as he almost had the 1v3. Doggedy being very low very late in the fight, and the downpour securing the kill on him. Now it's going to be down to 0907 being able to stabilize, which they will not be able to do. There is securing the lead now. 0907 having just over 60 seconds remaining to be able to win two back-to-back team fights. They need to win this next team fight to have any chance of bringing this map back. They do have the rally and the orbital ray. As I say, that orbital ray dropping from the sky, using any healing they could possibly need, but Ares kiting the absolute heck out of the orbital ray, not giving them any chance to do anything with it. And
They
that's
just
going to be a
denied the
very
fight.
late in bet.
They denied the fight from the orbital, and now they attack with the Kitsune of their own, but the Molten Core from Turbosmus covers the whole area actually of the Kitsune Rush. Nice kunai from Texor finding the head of Konde, and then the turret sneak with the overclock and the high ground. Tries to find the pig, but he doesn't. He enables Jesper to go for the back end. The Doki defends it. Majin was isolated on the front lane, and now we are in the final seconds of this Esperanza map with the orbital rep from Pigu probably securing the win for EREUS.
It is possible unless 0907 is able to stabilize here, which it does seem like they will momentarily be able to stabilize. Actually backing up EREUS here. Them having to run back and more take the high ground, fighting the fight and making sure not to stagger at all, as staggers will be the death of them. Orbital Ray coming out from 0907, hoping to take this fight, and Lars dropping. That is a very, very humongous late pick. Kingo being extremely low on HP, was able to get the healing from the overtime healing, or not overtime healing, the after effect healing. And 0907 having the bot in their favor. Next fight, final fight, Majin getting two very late picks, but he himself drops very late. It's gonna be who is able to stabilize first.
Lars has the downpour, and Conde has the overclock. Who will win this fight? It will be Lars, it will be EREUS, and the stabilize finally in the last fight and win this third map putting them in the position to close the series in the next map. As we see Magin on the Ramatra getting the play of the game, the consolation prize with this really nice annihilation, getting three, four kills at the four kill, I guess. Here is three, and then for 2-1 EREUS with the very close, really close Esperanza map. What did you think, Mace?
That was extremely close personally, and the only reason why that was actually so close is both teams did a very good job of kiting fights they knew they couldn't take. Since they didn't have the Lucio beat to stabilize, they only had the orbital ray to do much of anything. Ares knew whenever an orbital ray was popped and they didn't have it up, they needed to kite it, needed to run back and get away from the fight as fast as physically possible. And that's exactly what they did majority of the time.
Indeed, EREUS really good at denying fights that 0907 would have had an advantage in, and they really took the upper hand, not fighting losing fight, or even not fighting even fights. They only took fight they had an advantage in, and that's how they managed to win this map. 0907 managed to force some fights on EREUS, but too little to find a way to the victory. And the last minutes, the overtime push was just too short. The EREUS just had to wait and use the ults at the right time. That's what they did, and that's how they win the last fight.
I will say the very late dropping of Majin right before final fight commenced was an absolute humongous pick by Eris. Basically saying, hey, you you can't really do much without a tank. Let's be honest here. So say goodbye to your tank. This map is ours, and the next map, Dorado.
Next map will be Dorado, and the bans will be Echo and Anna. First time a tank is not banned in this match, so a bit of a change here. But the team banning Echo actually 0907, and they denied the main real hero the meta.
I will say very interesting bans coming out from both teams. I see why Ares banned Ana, but I'm not quite understanding why the Echo was banned. A very interesting pick for 0907 to be banning the Echo, but either way, both of these teams really not having a team comp involving either one of those characters. Like having the Widowmaker out now as Kone or Conde having the Ash.
Indeed, in terms Turbo Smooth going for the Tracer, as Magin thinks he needs a lot of vertical mobility on this map, going for the Hazard instead of the Ramatra as we saw him before. Like trying to find an angle, he will have to relocate. He waits for the brig, he finds it, but that was body shot. And now both tanks fighting for the control of the red.
Both teams fighting for control of the point. 0907 being the attacking squad. We will see who will win this first fight, but it will be a matter of time of who gets the first pick as Lars doing, or not Lars, but Majin doing quite the movement tech here on the hazard, showing just how versatile the character is.
He goes and finds Flick Ping with the next two full tech soul as well. Now falls for the EREUS, and that's the team kill for 0907. They unlock this choke point, and now they're going for the first checkpoint of Dorado with a lot of time bank. Almost 3 minutes left for the 0907 team, and the final contest is launched by Lars, but Flick already dropping to Majin. Lars is all by himself on this point, and he will not last long.
EREUS looking very, very staggered here as Janowicz getting the double kill with the mace to the face. Majin getting Pengu with the uh, block ability that does damage for some odd reason. But we don't question the devs as they are the ones that created the game and made it to what it is now. Both teams pushing up to the high ground now. And holy cannoli, the Kitsune Rush immediately dropped. The Orbital Ray dropped as well. And Lars has captured the Brig away from their team. Brig has to pop Rally to stay alive and is able to escape with his life, but not before the rest of his team falls over.
Which has to run for his life right now. He groups with his friend Majin, and together they wait for the rest of the team before trying to deny once again. But Stick is waiting for the 0907 team at the top of the stairs, retreating right now under the pressure of Majin. The blade for Jesper, but is controlled immediately by the supports of a 907, and the payload is still crawling his way.
So it's very, very slowly crawling its way down the path. 0907 definitely at a disadvantage now that they are in a very high ground controlled checkpoint. Holy crap, Turbo was actually able to get out of that kerfuffle that he found himself in.
It was quite a scuffle indeed for Turbo, but he managed to get out and regroup. Not the downpour on the high ground for Majin, but he falls right away, and no one from 0907 will try to contest that high ground for now. They wait for the tank. They still have 2.5 minutes to go, and they try to find a breach in this really nice defense actually for the second point from EREUS.
Ares using the high ground very much to their advantage. The Bob comes out running down the high ground pathway saying, hey, this is my ground now, my high ground. And it just completely cleared out the high ground, if I'm being honest, leaving 0907 free reign on it. Tracer being the absolute menace that they are. The beat drops very late in the fight to try and keep Lars alive. Lars running away at very low HP. The pulse bomb being dropped, but it's just 0907 being the leading factor in this game.
Indeed, they are, and they secure the second checkpoint. They still have a 3 minutes time bank to get to the end of Dorado. And they have a rally, and that's pretty much it. Slick almost has the overclock. We will see how this fight goes. Both tanks close to the downpour as well. The high ground once again secured by the defense. And 0907 they're trying to find a way, hiding behind this brigade shield. It won't be enough for now. They need Majin to make a move on this stuff.
Imagine needing to get onto that high ground so their team can do much of anything. The downpour comes out, raining hell from above, and the overclock comes out as well. Click getting the double kill, looking for the triple kill, is not able to secure it as of yet, but is able to now secure it. Yes, we're getting the quadra and almost completely finish off 0907. Slick getting the quadra now. And one being 1 kill off the 5K, but 5 kills is just enough to get the fight win and is exactly what they needed to stop the 0907 rampage that was happening.
Indeed, the 907 sent back to the spawn. They need to regroup and make another move. Once again, the position advantage for the defense. Lars contesting the payload and preventing Magin from attacking the high ground. No position taken from 0907. This time, Turbosmooth got uh, found by the Lucio. And 0907 they have to wait for the Tracer to come back.
0907 needing to regroup here if they want any chance of taking this fight. 1 minute remaining on the clock for this third point. And Jesper already takes out Turbo Smooth. That is not what you want to see as 0907. Being a very early pick, being your Tracer, is a thorn in the side of having to take any push.
Indeed, 30 seconds left now for the attack. And 0907 still having to find a breach inside the defense, but that might just be it. Conde with the double kill. Donowich finds Lars in the backline, and Imagine is here to prevent any contest, any early contest from EREUS, as the payload is in the last measure. The blade from Jesper with Lars, and the beat from Pingu, but Conde with the bob that find Flick, and the kills go red. The kill feed is all red. It's a team kill, and finally in overtime, 0907 will complete the map.
0907 investing a lot of ults during that final fight, but that's kind of what you need in a final fight. Able to secure the third and final checkpoint of Dorado, as they were almost held there for 2.5 to 3 minutes by EREUS, showing just how strong of a defensive team they are. But now they need to show their offensive side and need to push through the entire map.
Indeed, 0907 got the most important thing in the push map, and that is to go all the way through. If you stop before the third point, there's always a chance you might lose right there. Now they know. Whatever happens, they won't lose on this side. And mentally, it's easier when the opponents is on the map point match.
It is definitely a lot harder to keep your mental stable when you are down on the match point. Air is having the match point, as you have just said about. And with 6 seconds remaining on the pre-round clock, counting down, the push has begun for EREUS, needing to push the entire map, which will not be the first time, but also will not be the last time they will have to do it. As we are just in the beginning of this season, already Sleek pulling out the Widowmaker, trying to get any headshots they possibly can. The Brigitte shielding their ash, but not for long enough, as Conde eats a bullet.
Nice headshot from Sleek. He's trying to find another pick, but everybody is well hidden on the 0907 team. They try to prevent the payload from crossing this choke point, but with the numbers advantage and their main source of damage out as Conde swaps for Todron, it's really difficult. We see Magin getting trapped inside. He will fall now, he will escape, but it's very low. But still the support doing a lot of healing, and Magin survived Lars. Jesper, though, finds the back lane, wins his duel against the Brigitte. But still, at the end of the day, 907 wins the fight, and that's surprise. The position was so difficult. It's really a nice surprise for them to win this fight and win a lot of time. They will be able to contest one last time before this first point.
Stabilization from 0907, being able to keep the DPS up even with Honda down was humongous, but not as humongous as the early pick on Meijin. Coming out from Pengu, Pengu dropping the beat, and just about every single ult invested from both sides. 0907 this time coming out on top without a tank.
Turbosmus doing the God's work in this fight, finding Jesper just as he casted his ultimate, and the blade did absolutely nothing, mate. Absolutely nothing in this fight.
Honestly, the blade did less than nothing. It may as well have just been a pool noodle he was throwing around, throwing absolutely nothing at people. Immediately getting shut down at the beginning of the fight, but either way, the next fight commences, and Turbo Smooth already showing, hey, just because I was the one that was doing a little bit of feeding there at the end of the second fight, or the last fight in the last push, doesn't mean I can't be just as much of a hazard now, as 0907 looking very, very strong on the defense, winning 2 back-to-back fights, and now 46 seconds remaining on the clock. Meijin needs to back up, and he is able to back up just in time.
Now we have the switch, the swap from Jesper as he picked the Torbjorn, but it won't be enough. Conde finds the Knight's right click on the Dwarf, and 0907 still in control of the payload. 15 seconds left for EREUS. They have touched the payload. Loss will probably be able to do it, but it will be very alone to do so.
Popping the overclock, looking for any early picks he can get, and they see 9.
They were not able to touch. You see the giant shield of Jonowich with the rally controlling the crowd and not letting EREUS touch that payload in the last second. Very, very nice move from the Brigitte, and that secures the win. And we're going for the 5th and last map.
Another 5-map series for EREUS. As in that last play of the game, you did see Meijin able to get the 4K. Absolutely humongous for their push, may I say. But now it's down to who is the better team. EREUS and 0907 both having 2 maps on their side. Map 5 being the absolute thing they need to win this series. Match point, both squads. The question is, what map will they pick for said map point?
I think I saw Nibble at the 5th map.
Interesting.
It has to be either a control or flashpoint, but we already played flashpoint. We're not going to play New Junk City. So I guess control map is right. We'll see. The teams are banning heroes right now, and they will begin their final stand shortly. Both teams are going for the win on the next map. And right now, it's time for prediction. Ace, I'm putting you on the spot. Who will win this last map?
Oh, buddy, you are putting this one on me, and I don't know if I can take the weight on my back personally, but Ares, I honestly, I feel like Ares is gonna come out on top. They
And you're going
lost
to
the first
lose
map.
your shit when you see the band
They
hero
better not
from
have
EREUS.
banned my Brigitte again. So
They did
help
not.
me gracious.
They did not. But if you remember, the pick Magin was most comfortable on the first map, they banned the Ramatra. Very, very interesting ban from the Ares side, banning the main pick of the opponent's tank. That's really, really filthy from them, but strategically well planned.
Honestly, very smart pick though, as that is their comfort pick. Taking away their comfort pick from them is absolutely humongous. On the other hand, 0907 banning the Torbjorn, saying, "Hey, just because you banned my comfort pick doesn't mean I can't ban anything you want to do to try and stop me on the hazard." As the first fight has already commenced, both teams taking the very right side lane and not really much happening at first. Both teams feeling each other out, trying to figure out where to go, when to do it, and areas saying, "Hey, if we can't get the kills, we can at least start taking the point."
But they had to abandon that way. Turbosmooth finding the double kill on Texel and Lars Magin chasing back the remains of the Raiders lineup to respond. The first gap is for 0907, and they do not fear the hazard fuel, and that's an interesting point of emphasis.
Majan honestly kind of running for their life there as they were the only one in their spawn. Luckily, Hazard having the block and having the wall to be able to shield his own escape. Lars now looking for the backline as his backline is getting absolutely torn apart. 0907 going absolutely bananas in the area's backline. Lars needing to get back to spawn with extremely low HP. And 0907 just looking so strong on this first map of the fifth map. Or first sub map
From
of
the
the fifth
entry,
map.
from the Turbosmooth was absolutely dismantling the backline once again. Turbosmooth wins his duel on Jesper. The Juno trades, and the Lucio duel goes to 0907 once again. And the nice delay on Slick. He has dropped out of the map to rejoin with his team. And imagine has a trick up his sleeve. He wants to pour from behind, but Jesper scouts him. We won't see a backdoor done for this time. And now Conde with the overclock match by Slicks. Both team with the beat, but the kills are for the EREUS side. Slick finding the double kill with this overclock. And it was time for EREUS to win a fight because now they have to reverse sweep this point.
Eris now only having the blade to handle the enemy team. Majan having the down for possibly looking to use it here. But as I say that, he does indeed use it. Jesper goes in deep with the blade and is not, honestly, is able to secure room for his team. But Majan getting the kill on Teak so early in the fight.
But 0907, they took the opportunity to capture the point back, now forcing EREUS to keep a presence on the point while they take the fight all around the map. Jesper falls, Lars as well. It's now up to Texel and Pingu to stay on the point, but they will not manage to stay alive for long enough. 0907 takes the first point of the last.
First submap going in favor of 0907. And Ares, just because they banned the comfort pick of 0907 doesn't mean they have the advantage just yet. As honestly, 0907 still looking very strong on the hazard instead of having the Ramatra to help them out. Ares now needing to take this second submap to hopefully not throw away this fifth map of the series, as they are now down 1-0.
Indeed, 0907 playing for the match right here as the first fight takes place on the red side of the map, thanks to the Symmetra teleporter used by Turbosmooth at the beginning of the round, allowing 0907 to put a lot of early pressure on EREUS. Lars is bailed out by Iskiriko Texel with the nice user right here to keep his tank alive. Another fight is taken to the point as it unlocks, but slowly but surely 0907 is taking position and possession of the point.
Turbosmooth getting the first kill on Sleek, slapping him in the face with his blades, and both tanks fighting for control of the point. Majin needing to skedaddle with very low HP, but he sacrifices Jonowich in the time being. Sadly, still not quite able to escape. Majin able to secure the kill on Sleek before he dies, though. And 0907 slowly turning around the fight. But I do believe they will just decide to retreat. And unless they're able to get the point, they will be able to flip the point.
They just flipped the point before retreating, forcing EREUS to have a presence on the point. And they contest, they don't. They are happy with the 11% they took away from EREUS for the time being. The downpour from Lars finds no targets. Unfortunately, the beat from Jonowich defends his whole team, keeping them alive for the time being. And now the attack, the offensive is on 0907 with the orbital ray coming from the sky, and they take the point as EREUS did not want to fight in an orbital.
Let's be honest here, no team wants to fight in a ray of doom raining down from above, but Majin attempting to trap everyone in that small room with the downpour. He's sadly going to get Suzu'd and Lucio beaten.
Indeed, but Lars fell while trying to harass the backline of 0907. Who are now in the lead on the control meter. They reach the 50% behalf of what they have to do to win this last map right here, right now. The Kitsune rush from Texel allows Jesper to win the duel with Turbosmooth. Conde finding Sleek, but that won't be enough on the 0907 side of things. And EREUS take back the control of the point.
Lars getting the triple kill, able to help his team fully capture this point. Now they need to hold it, and the problem is he has found himself in a small room with the entire team. The entire team is now chasing him down, but he is able to escape with his life. Now fight commences on the high ground. The blade gets pulled out, getting the double kill, looking for the triple kill, but sadly his blade is just slightly too short for the triple kill. 0907 takes almost takes the fight, but yeah,
They do take the fight,
basically fully takes the fight.
and they take back control of the point. Now it's almost last fight territory for Iris. They only have the downpour from Lars to find the solution and win the next fight, or they will lose this match. On 907, they have an orbital, they have the downpour and the beat almost ready. They will be ready by the time the fight starts. And Iris taking position on the point. The
So
orbital
Ray,
grabs as soon as the threat emerges from Eris. Double kill from Magic. There is no more support heroes on the side of Eris, and a miracle they need to win this fight. Lars is pinned on the ground on the point, and finally 0907 takes the second map, second map, fifth map, and the series. Really nice match we just had.
0907 securing the full series, putting themselves up 1-0. But here we see Turbo Smooth shutting down the blade, getting Pengu in the time being, and just being the absolute menace that 0907 needed. And personally, both teams played very well, but I would like to very muchly point out how well Majin played with having to flex off of his main character being that Ramatra.
Indeed, he had to swap on the Hazard to match last Hazard was really, really strong pick for Ares tank. And I think he had to warm up. And the first map, he was not that good, that a match. And as the match went on, Magin was stronger and stronger, getting a grip on the hero and the matchup against Lars. And as the match went on, 907 managed to take advantage of that.
Personally, for me, the MVP of this match overall has to be the tanks from both squads. Both tanks just being the deciding factor of the maps. As soon as they fell, their team fell. As soon as they secured either one or two kills, their entire team was right there behind them, securing the kills right after they did. And 0907, even though sometimes they did lose their tank, they were very muchly able to stabilize quickly and just continue going on without their tank. But sadly, that being the last map of this entire series, 0907 winning the series, it's sad to say it, but it was our only game. What's your thoughts on the game, Opera?
Well, I agree for your MVP picks. I'd like to give a few shoutouts though to Sleek on his Sojourn, which is really, really good pick. And Conde as well, his counterpart on the 0907 roster. They both did tremendous damage to the open back lane. And Texel from EREUS did a really, really good game as well. He played really well on his Kiriko, and I think they deserve a shout out. On the overall match, I think 0907 has a slower pace, and they try to have steady fights, take the time, and EREUS has a more aggressive style. And this time it went to 0907, but was really, really close all the way. And even though the last map is 2-0, it's the 3-2 is a deserved scoreline for both teams.
I would agree, my friend, but as I had just said, this was our only game. So I would like to thank this man over here, Opera, being an absolutely insane caster for his first ever fully English cast did absolutely amazing. We have Bonnabelle behind the scenes being the producer, making everything look ever so beautiful. And you guys at home watching, supporting, and just being there for both of these teams. We'd like to thank everyone all around. And as it is the final game or only game of this entire series, it has been Face the Maze, Opera being my man on the co-casting seat. It has been the Masters League Face It between Ares and 0907. 0907 takes the win, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.